Start the meeting. Teresa, are you close to your stuff? Okay. Well, good morning, everyone. I want to welcome y'all to the Tuesday, August 27th, 2024 meeting of the Denton County Commissioners Court. We're glad to have y'all here. I would like to remind everybody to please turn off your cell phones. And I'd like to, at this time, welcome up for our invocation Paul Bastich, who is our Denton County Veteran Service Officer, and then following Paul will be Melinda Preston, and she's going to lead us in our pledges. So if you'll please stand.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Please pray with me. Heavenly Father, as the month of September unfurls its days before us, I pause to acknowledge your sovereignty over time and seasons. I am deeply aware that each day is a gift from you, a blank page on which your will can be inscribed. September often marks a time of change, the waning of summer, the beginning of autumn, the start of new academic and fiscal years for very many. I pray for your grace and guidance as we navigate these transitions. Watch over us as we head into Labor Day weekend. Keep us safe in the travels and the activities we engage as we close out the summer. In the midst of our busy schedules and new challenges that come with this month, may we not neglect our relationship with you. Strengthen our resolve to seek you diligently, setting aside time for prayer, meditation, and your word, and fellowship with other believers. May we be forever mindful September is the National Suicide Prevention Month, a time to remember the lives lost to suicide, acknowledge the millions who have experienced suicidal thoughts, and the many individuals, families, and communities that have been impacted by suicide. Be with us all. Watch over our first responders, our military, and our elected officials. Be with us here today in this courtroom. May the transactions of this court be in your favor and for the well-being of our great county and our community. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Let's pledge allegiance to the most amazing country in the world. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now, guys, when we pledge allegiance to the Texas flag, at the end we yell a yeehaw. So just so you know, because we're Texas. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Yeehaw!
All right. That's a first in here. Thank you, Melinda. All right. We do have several visitors who have, and we're glad to have y'all here that have registered for our public comments, and so those are going to be under the replat of phase 3. Let me see if and we will do those at that time. And do we have? I see Mr. Hudspeth here, and I don't see a form.
Yeah, he decided.
Willie, are you just observing today? Did you want to speak? Oh, good. Yes, I did see the hat, and I like the hat. Okay, so, all right. Thank you, sir. If I didn't see a form with your name on it, I want to be sure to call upon you if you made time to come and visit us today. So thank you for being with us. The rest of these are under that zoning item. We will do a few items before that, and we do have several guests here for that, so we're going to get you in and out. We'll take your agenda item up momentarily. So we will take those items up when we get to that agenda item. So let's go to, we do have a couple of, let's go to item 3B, which is approval. We'll do Eric Brumley's since he is not in attendance, we'll do him at the end of the meeting. Let's go to item 3B, approval of a resolution recognizing Terry Crabtree's retirement and any appropriate actions. Terry, where are you at? Come, Terry, good morning. If you'll come forward. Terry, it's good to have you here today, and you're just such a great employee, and I can't believe you're retiring. Do you want to introduce your special four-legged friend with us today?
This is Cinder Bear.
Very good, very good. Well, Terry, I will read this proclamation here, and then we will extend some comments, and then I know that Stephen wanted to speak, and then we promise to give you the last word since you're walking out the door. Is that okay? Yeah. All right. So this is a resolution honoring Terry Crabtree for 22 years of service to Denton County. The Denton County Commissioners Court, Denton County, Texas, during a regular session on the 27th day of August 2024, considered the following resolution. And whereas Terry Crabtree, Senior Development Coordinator, has been a dedicated employee of the Denton County Department of Development Services since February 27th, 2002, and will retire on August 30th, 2024 after 22 years of service. Whereas Terry began her tenure with the Public Works Planning Department as Administrative Assistant, later advancing to the role of Associate Development Coordinator. In 2010, she earned a promotion to Senior Development Coordinator, then went on to serve many years as a planning manager. And whereas throughout her career, Terry has been crucial to the efficient operation of daily permitting processes within the Planning Division of Development Services. She played a key role in coordinating activities for the Lake Ray Roberts Planning and Zoning Commission. As a cornerstone of her department, Terry has mentored and trained numerous colleagues, consistently fostering a supportive environment while diligently enhancing and refining departmental procedures that will benefit the department for years to come. Whereas Terry has consistently performed her duties with dedication and excellence, serving the citizens of Denton County with unwavering commitment. The Department of Development Services extends its deepest appreciation to Terry for her remarkable service and wishes her a fulfilling and well-deserved retirement. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Denton County Commissioners Court, Denton County, Texas, does hereby extend to Terry Crabtree our sincere and grateful appreciation for her dedicated service to Denton County. We congratulate Terry on her well-earned retirement and extend our best wishes to her for continued success, happiness, and good health in the years to come. Done in open court this is the 27th day of August, 2024, upon a motion by the chair, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? Well, Terry, I would like to say I'm sad to see this day. And you've been such a great employee all these years. I've gotten to know you so well, especially back when I was a road commissioner and we were out looking at different projects and so forth. And we're one of the fastest growing counties in the state and in the nation. And I think probably some of the number or volume of projects that you have reviewed and dealt with in a year might be years worth in other counties for what their volume. And so over these 22 years, you've seen a lot of projects come and go, and I always believe that you worked with our development community to make the very best decisions for the public, and I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you doing that.
Thank
I really
you.
do. I really do. Members, are there any additional comments that you want to say? You're good?
Terry, I just want to thank you for your service, all that you've done for Denton County, and as the judge says, played a big part of all the development here in Denton County, especially Lake Ray Roberts. Thank you, and I wish you Godspeed as you go to your next endeavor, because I'm pretty sure you're not going home to rest. So thank you for all that you do. I can see you getting out into the community, even doing more. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
It's okay if you go home and rest. But thank you so much for what you've done all these years. And like Commissioner Mitchell, someone with your drive and your abilities will probably not just sit around. So thank you in advance for what you're going to be doing. And congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations on your retirement.
Thank
Well
you.
deserved.
All right. Stephen?
Judge, Commissioners, so I just want to thank Terry for her years of service. I started here as an EIT. I could do all sorts of fancy engineering calculations. Couldn't answer a question about permits, about plats, about Lake Ray Roberts, about floodplain. I think that first year I probably wore a path between my office and Terry's office. So I want to thank her for her patience with me. Learned a lot from her. We're going to miss her. She's one of the last of the old guard from when Kay Roach was here, if y'all remember Kay, right, Kay? Yeah. So there's a lot of institutional knowledge that we're losing, but we're happy for her. We're going to miss her and wish her the best in retirement.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Terry's one of those that didn't always need a computer to know about the project and what could or could not go on there and the history of some of the different projects. So you'd had a lot of institutional knowledge, so we appreciate you. So we'll get happy to give you the last word here, ma'am.
I just really wanted to take the opportunity to thank all of you because you guys keep this county running, and I really appreciate everything that whenever we've had to work together. And especially, Judge, you've helped me so much through the years, and I really appreciate
Thank you.
everything, all your guidance and your knowledge too. And I really want to thank the county for being so accommodating, having a service dog. I know this was something new in the county, and everybody was wonderful. And like I said, very accommodating, and it's very heartfelt.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I am looking forward to a new role, being grandma.
Good.
I have 3 that live with me right now, so it's going to be a wonderful, I'll miss everybody here, but I think it's going to be a wonderful next step.
That's great. That's great.
And I love my department. I mean,
do
they're
too.
wonderful. All of
Yeah.
us work together so well.
That's great. That's
All right,
great.
thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other comments? Well, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations. Those are big shoes to fill. Let's go to item 10A. I want to be able to honor the time of our guests with us today. So let's go to item 10A, which is a conditional approval of the Copper Creek Estates Phase 3 final plat. This is 46.162 acres located in Commissioner Precinct 4. And Stephen, do you want to come give an overview of this, and then we'll have the public comments.
Okay, morning, Judge, Commissioners. So we're bringing the plat for Copper Creek Estates Phase 3 to you this morning. We are asking for conditional approval of this plat, something we've not done here, but it is something that is allowed for in state law. State law provides Commissioners Court with 3 different options when considering a plat. You can either approve it, you can approve it with condition, or you can disapprove. Now, the disapproval and the conditional approval really function much the same. we were required to provide those conditions of the conditional approval or the conditions of disapproval. The applicant is allowed to correct those deficiencies if they're correctable, and once those conditions are met, then court must approve the plat. So what we're asking for court's approval today is conditional approval of this plat to give us some time to address the drainage. There's some deficiencies in the drainage, how this new phase is designed. And we are going to need to come back to court to request a subdivision with private roads. So the existing subdivision, the phase, I don't know if it's phase 1, phase 2, or whatever it is, but the existing subdivision that is there today, and it's in Copper Canyon city limits, those roads are private roads. And the county cannot accept roads for maintenance that connect to a private road. So the roads, really by default for this subdivision, have to be private. So that's going to be one of the conditions as well. So there'll be 2 conditions on this plat. One of them is to get the drainage corrected, and then the other one is to come back to court to get court's permission to create a subdivision using private roads. Yeah, I think that's kind of where we're at. So.
Okay. Push the. Just.
Stephen, we've talked about this. So do you feel the drainage issues are correctable?
Possibly. So the way this drains to 2 different areas. One of them drains kind of through an existing lantana, what appears to be an underground system. But again, we're trying to ascertain that. So half of it kind of drains to the north into lantana. The other half drains into a detention pond and then discharges out of that detention pond right now onto private property that there is no easement for. So you can't do that. So that's really the deficiency that we're trying to work through. They need to find some way to convey that stormwater, and right now they don't have a way to convey that stormwater. So I believe the applicant is in talks with the adjacent property owner to allow, so if he buys that property, he can do with it as he wants, and then we will evaluate how that detention pond drains, because it's, the way they've got it now is to drain out of that detention pond and then to Copper Canyon Road. So it conceivably, yes, it's fixable, but really the big issue that we have right now is the fact that he's discharging this detention pond onto private property.
To be honest, I'm reluctant to approve something conditionally if we don't know that condition can be corrected.
So he has to meet those conditions in order for the plat. So if you do a conditional approval conditioned upon the drainage, an approved drainage plan, he has to meet that criteria. So if he doesn't meet that criteria, then he doesn't meet the conditions for the conditional approval.
Okay. So, I'm sorry. So why would we even approve it if he doesn't meet the condition? We're gonna.
So it's a conditional approval.
Okay.
Stephen, could you outline to answer your question? I want to frame the question just a little bit different, if you don't mind. Can you explain the shot clock provisions and then what we're trying to, or is that there's some new statutory deadlines that why this is here as it's not completed? Okay, why there's outstanding, there's a reason why Stephen and the staff are bringing it here even though it's not completed, because it's a new requirement. Okay,
Yes.
what could you unpack that a little bit?
Statutorily, we have 30 days for Commissioners Court to either approve with conditions, or disapprove a plat. So it's called the shot clock law, and it was enacted this past year. It was always kind of there, but they really firmed it up this last legislative session. So we are under a statutory requirement for court to do one of those 3 things within that 30-day window. Okay. So we're kind of up against the clock now. I think we had maybe a few more days after today to get it done, but court needs to make a decision on this today. And again, you know, staff's recommendation is conditional approval. You can always disapprove, but it functions in the same manner as an approval with conditions. So if you disapprove the plat, we still have to provide those conditions. And if he meets those conditions.
We have to clearly outline the reasons why it was denied.
Yes, so we'll provide a letter today, outlining what those conditions are. Either if you decide to disapprove it, or if you approve it with condition, we will provide those conditions to the applicant. State law provides that he can take as much time as he wants to address those conditions. When he brings those back, if we determine that he has met the conditions, Commissioners Court has 15 days at that point to basically reaffirm the plat.
Is the applicant here today?
Yes.
I'd like to hear from him,
Sure.
or them.
I have a quick question, Stephen. So if we do a conditional approval, does the shot clock stop and then start again?
Well, not necessarily the shot clock, but we've got that 15-day window then. So once they resubmit and we determine that they have met the conditions,
Then
we have 15 days.
But as of today, we're not back on a 30-day or a 15-day cycle.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
We do have the applicant here, so why don't we have him speak in advance, and then we'll get to our public comment for the concerns. Yes, sir. Good morning.
Morning. Jay Reisig with McAdams. The offsite drainage, we're in kind of consistent talks with the adjacent property owner. They're associated with the property that we're working with them, and really just waiting on them to finalize a letter just saying that we have that right to drain through that small sliver of property. It's kind of the hatched area that runs east-west on the east side of this property. And so we're working with them right now. We would hope to have had the letter today, but we know it's coming. It should be coming any day. And so, like what Mr. Eads said, it was just a timing thing where we needed to get in front of the commissioners and bring this forward with the shot clock. But we are anticipating that letter coming through with that.
And it will take care of the problem?
Yes, ma'am. It's really, it's just that we're draining onto another piece of property. It's not issues with the amount of flow or any erosive conditions, anything like that. It's just going from our property to the adjacent property and being able to flow out to the receiving system.
So is that other property belong to you or belong to someone else that you're draining on?
It belongs to someone else.
Okay, and you have permission to drain onto their property?
That's what we're waiting for, is we've sent them all the information. We've been in talks with them. They're just really reviewing the details of what we're proposing.
But you have permission to drain onto
To
their
gain
property?
permission, yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then after that drain onto their property, where does it go?
It goes into, there's an existing system that was constructed in Copper Canyon Road, received the drainage from this property.
Okay, properly sized.
Yes, it's properly sized. We're meeting the drainage roof flows and requirements that system was sized for, which is why we have detention on our property.
Go ahead.
So tell me about that drainage that's draining onto that property. Is it draining off of that property to some of the other citizens' property, or is it maintained on that property?
It's just contained on that property.
Okay, okay.
There's an existing drainage, swale there.
Yeah,
That's not sized correctly, and so we're working with them to improve that, to
Okay.
make sure it is. It's the same direction everything goes today.
okay.
But we're improving the drainage ditch that's there to make sure that it has the capacity to carry what we're sending that direction.
So what is your time frame on that?
Like I said, we were hoping to have it today, but we feel it's imminent, like it should be very, very soon.
Very, very soon, month, 2 months?
Within a month is what we're expecting.
Okay.
But I can't speak for the
Judge,
other property
right.
owner. They're in review of it, but we have had several conversations with them. They understand the conditions and what we're asking for, but we're dealing with an owner's representative and the owner, so they're just.
Judge, there's someone else I think who would like to speak, and I have a question. We have pictures today of some real drainage problems, and will these be taken care of if you get permission to go ahead and drain onto that other property?
The drainage concerns that, as far as I understand, I don't believe the drainage concerns that are there are because of this development. They're elsewhere in the development,
In the other two phases
in the previously approved and constructed phases.
that are in the city limits, okay.
Yes.
So let's hear from one other individual, then I want to go through our register. I want to hear from the city and the registered speakers. Go right ahead.
Good morning, Michael Canaday. I'm the developer and the property owner. So this was a larger piece of property. It was 76 acres, and we just bought a portion of it as we've been taking it down in phases. So the drainage has always been, you know, what the drainage has always been. I'd be interested to see the pictures you got, because there's been some pictures presented to y'all that are false, 100%, you know, represented as the people that sent them in, their backyards, and it's somebody else's backyard. And my attorney has sent out a cease and desist to the folks that sent those, and they're here to speak today. There's been a lot of calls made on this neighborhood, a lot of complaints by a group of homeowners in the neighborhood that, for lack of better terms, have it out for me. And they've run the wheels off your truck, and every time they come out to my community, we're doing nothing wrong. And they're going to try and paint a picture of bad drainage. I've got video when it rains, what actually happens out there. And these folks have owned this piece of property since the 1800s, been in their family. And the elder just passed away, their sons own it. And they sold me this portion. And they're in San Francisco. So the agent that sold the property is diligently working with them, trying to get the letter. And I talked to them yesterday evening. I felt like I might have got it this morning. So I think it's probably something that'll happen within the week. And ultimately, I'll end up owning the roads and the other part of it, you know, as another phase. I just don't like to stick my family's neck out that far. You know, it's a big bite to chew. So we did this section right here. And I've started all the phases. I've built every house in there. The front part was in our family for like 25 years. It's my daughter's names on the streets, and same with this other phase. So, you know, it kind of means a lot to us. So, like I said, I'd like to see those pictures, because
I'll be happy to give these to you. They have two copies of the.
May I?
Yes, absolutely. We have two copies of that. And while you review those, I'll be happy to, we can hear from our other registered speakers while you're.
So this here is just some ponding over in that phase that ponds after the horrific rains we've had. And I've had a drainage permit, a grading permit application in for months, and it's not released. So legally, I can't go there and do a thing with it other than clean up the trees and stuff, and that's what I've been doing. So I've been cleaning up the trees and burning, but I haven't changed the drainage flow.
Who's the permit in with?
Development services.
Our development services, okay.
Yeah, and it, you know, some of that could be corrected. I've put up some erosion control, some temporary gates, some rock at those gates, and, you know, I own land, so, and I own equipment, and I've been out there just trying to preserve the forest look and underbrush, and, you know, it's 46 acres, so it's taken us with the rains and stuff this year, a considerable amount of time.
Okay.
In the grading permit, it's grading and drainage together, and so the grading is based on these comments as well.
In this hatched area that the water goes down, it needs some maintenance. I mean, it just needs the ditch reestablished. I mean, this has been just raw land for so many years. It's just ultimately silted that, you know, back in. It needs maintenance, but, you know, my hands are tied until somebody blesses our grading permit, or you guys release me to do something over there about it.
Okay, I understand. Okay.
If we were to do the conditional approval today, does that release you to do this drainage? No, we still need a different permit?
No, it would not release him to do the work, because we've still got to get those drainage issues resolved.
Stephen, I don't know if she could hear that.
Stephen, thank you.
Sorry. Yeah, he would still be required to have an approved set of plans before he starts.
Okay, and is
My-
that what, is
my
that
hands
what
are
he's
tied.
waiting on now? Has he given you a set of plans?
We have a set of plans,
We've gotten
but
comments on them too, and we've addressed every comment you've sent us on those construction plans.
with the exception of the pond.
So far, to the best of my knowledge, all they've asked us to do is get a letter from the adjacent owner to allow us to go do the work in that ditch, and I'm obtaining that. And everything else, calculations, numbers, and everything has went through their system. They've given us remarks, and we have corrected them every time.
With this conditioning,
Is your mic on?
would the condition permit allow you to go in and do the ditch now, Stephen?
We're not going to release him to do construction until we're satisfied that we have the drainage issues
Okay.
resolved.
So
But
the
is
ditch has to
clearing
be
that
done
ditch
first.
out, is that construction?
Yes.
Okay. See, like I said, I can't do anything as far as that goes. My hands are tied. So, I mean, even if the water was coming from us, they come up here and complain, there's not a thing I can do about it. I mean, it's been that way since the 1800s back there. I mean, it's just, the land's been there, you know?
I'm not sure I understood the answer to Bobby's question, which is, if we grant this conditional approval, will he be allowed then to go in and start redoing that ditch?
No, because
No.
we don't have an approved set of drainage plans. And part of that requirement is, right now, he's discharging that pond on private property, which you can't do.
Can't
So
do.
even if he
Right,
gets the
so-
letter from that property owner saying that's okay,
What happens?
what happens next?
If
Mr. Candy, McAdams is your engineering firm. Have they drawn a set of plans for Stevens' department to look at for the drainage?
Yes.
And they reviewed them, and they've made comments, and they were good with them until, I guess, a lot of people started making a bunch of racket.
Well, you can't drain on a private property. I mean,
So you're waiting for the letter saying it's okay to drain onto private property?
we are
Is
waiting.
that the key to everything?
What they need is an easement from the property owner. They
This is
need an
established
easement,
drainage pattern. It was
or
all one
they
piece
need to
of property 6
buy the
months ago.
property.
Okay.
So, now there's a divider line, but it does what it's always done. And I can't change that, without permission.
So the
It's
drainage is,
Was there-
he's
there
not
is no
disrupting what would be the common previously established flow, correct?
Probably not, but
Okay.
what it's always the issue with detention ponds is where you today probably have some sheet flow or shallow concentrated flow. Now you've got concentrated flow, right, coming out of that, you've got a pipe coming out of the
Yeah.
detention pond.
But I feel
Pond
like
flow.
we're talking, and I don't know, I want it clear in my head, I feel like we're talking as if the pond's there, and it's not. So
Right.
cleaning up the ditch is something that probably should be done, and there is no pond concentrate and flow or whatever. So, like I said, if there is any complaints on that fence line, the maintenance should probably be done. The pond is not there, it's part of my construction plans. I won't do that until I get my permit.
But you really can't do anything until you have this letter that we're talking
No,
about
and
from the
anytime I
property
open
owner.
the gate, these homeowners call, they run your trucks out there, they come, oh, he's gotta be doing something wrong. And I never am, but yeah, no, can't do one thing, it's crazy.
Stephen, you said he has had an easement, so is the letter gonna satisfy getting the easement?
They need an easement.
Will the letter give them an easement?
An easement is the standard, right? That's a legal document that's
Right.
recorded at the county clerk's office that is there for a function, and for this function, it would be drainage. And that easement usually is there forever, is the way those usually designed. So that gives a property owner the legal right to discharge
To,
on someone else's property.
so that letter, are they gonna have to take it to the county clerk's office and get it
Recorded.
Okay.
recorded?
Well, there probably should be a drainage easement down that road on both sides anyway, because that 76 acres, that's where it drains. So, that's where the water goes anyway. It probably should be, because, if there's not an easement there, somebody can put something there and block it up and back everything up upstream.
Okay. I'd like to hear our public comment,
Yes.
our register comment. Thank y'all for being here.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Let's go to our
Need to
first.
hang on to those?
You're welcome to, that's a duplicate. All right, let's go to Victoria Hubbard. That's our first public speaker. Good morning.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. I feel like I need a step stool in order to be seen.
It's okay, we'll adjust that. I would remind our those who fill out the public comment forms, we have a 3-minute time. So we'll go ahead and start. We'll let you
I
proceed.
appreciate it.
Thank you, Victoria.
I appreciate the allowance of time to speak to you. My
Sure.
husband and I, Jeff, live at 400 Clare Court in what is considered Phase 2 of Copper Creek Estates.
Okay.
You were provided earlier photos that have been sent to, actually, they were all sent to me because the majority of the homeowners were not able to come and comment themselves.
Sure.
It's a little disturbing that Mr. Kennedy contends that the photos are fraudulent, given that some of those photos were taken from my front porch, which is easily identifiable because of the cedar posts. Other photos have clear identifiable front facades of homes. We are concerned about the drainage. I have lived in the community for a little over a year, but have been an owner of the lot since June of '21. And while we have had some drainage issues before, the drainage problems exacerbated once that back area, or what we call the back 40 in our community, was cleared of trees and vegetation. The majority of the water right now tends to run down city streets and culverts. Right now, it runs east on Cameron Trail, and then it runs north on Cape Court, and then it curves. The drainage that comes down Cameron Trail then exits down Copper Creek Road, and then the drainage that runs down Cape Court goes into a pond, and then it runs down as a rapid river in front of 3 homes on Copper Creek Trail. Finally, offloading on Copper Creek Road, and that's part of what we are concerned about. Some of those neighbors on Copper Creek Trail lose approximately 1/2 of their front yard because of the flooding. And we're concerned that when you add foundations, roads, driveways, there will be even less soil to absorb all this abundance. And it doesn't take a terrible rain. Some of the photos that you have in front of you are from June when we had the torrential rain, but a lot of them are from earlier in the season where we had 1 inch or 2 and we still have bad runnage. You should have also over the weekend received video footage that was taken by one of our homeowners via drone that shows that runoff running and also coming down Copper Creek Road and ponding immediately in front of the fire station that is south of our community. One of the
Go ahead and finish your thought real
All
quickly.
right. One of those videos shows a fire truck actually having to cross high water to re-enter and bring the truck back into the fire station.
Did you send that to us? I don't have that.
Greg Holman sent it on Sunday. I believe he sent 4 separate videos to Teresa. She responded saying that she had received it because I was CC'd on the communication.
Okay, good. Okay.
It is concerning to us. We have part of that drainage that's going to go behind in that quote-unquote lease land, runs behind the house of one of our members of our community who is a disabled vet, a double amputee in a wheelchair, who also has a child with special needs in a wheelchair. Can you imagine how they would feel when they see water running down the front of their home as well as behind their home?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, we have Victoria Jung. 2 Victorias. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Judge.
Thanks.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Thank you for allowing us to speak.
Absolutely, absolutely. Glad you're here. Thank you.
Thank you. So my name is Victoria Young, like you said, another Victoria. Myself and my husband and my 2 kids, we live in 501 Cameron Trail, which is also in Copper Creek Estates. We're in what we call it Phase 2. We have been here we're living there for about 2 years. And we have also experienced some drainage issues, and that is the reason we would like to share the concerns here with you. We, like Victoria said, we have seen when it rains, it doesn't have to be heavy rain, but steady rain. And we know for a fact, because my kids love to play in the rain. So I happened to go out there and get myself wet as well. And then we witnessed, and that's how we're able to take those pictures. So those pictures were taken in May when we had some rain, and those were right in front of our house on Cameron Trail. We were so concerned, and that's why we took those pictures, because in a couple of homes, so we are the very first home when you enter that main gate on the west part of Copper Creek Estates, the very first house on the left. However, we were just walking all the way in Cameron Trail, like I said, with the kids, and we witnessed, and some of the pictures will show you, a few of those houses where the water was just running, and in some areas the water was sitting there. It was so close to get into their homes. Our house has a little steep, so we were lucky not to have inter-houses, but a couple of other houses had very close to get into their main entrance, and that's how it got our attention. And then, of course, all the other water that was sitting in there. Needless to say, the danger that the water sitting there exposes to our young kids. That is obviously another concern that we have. So with that being said, this is Phase 2. We are obviously concerned what's going to happen with Phase 3, what kind of drainage issues that is going to cause, since in Phase 2 it seems like the ponds that we have, the 2 ponds, don't seem to be enough to handle the water. So I want to present that concern to all of you. So thank you.
Perfect, good. Thank you.
ma'am.
Thank you for your pictures. Thank you for being here.
Can we bring Stephen back up, Judge?
Sure.
Stephen, I'm just trying to understand what, if anything, really can be done about this drainage. Now, I realize that part of these pictures represent when we had the monsoon and an unusual amount of water that virtually everybody in Denton County was faced with issues. But is there something that can really be done that can change this? Because I totally understand and sympathize with these homeowners, but I'm just not sure that this developer can do anything about it. And that's what I'm asking you as our lead engineer.
So there's really nothing we can do to address the drainage concerns in phases 1 and 2. Those are built. We didn't review those plans. We don't have the construction plans. I couldn't even look at them to tell you if there's a problem with them.
Because that's the city, correct?
Correct.
Now, most of these people, or both the Victorias today, I believe, said they were in Phase 2, is where they lived.
Within the city.
Yeah, within the city limits.
So, yeah, the short answer to your question is there's really nothing we can do to address the drainage concerns in phases 1 and 2. Now, for Phase 3, the way the drainage is designed, and the engineer can, maybe address it a little more succinctly, but you see there are 2 drainage basins in Phase 3. One of those drains north to Lantana. The other one drains to the other proposed detention pond that would discharge out to Copper Canyon. So there ought not to be any drainage in Phase 3. I mean, there could be some ancillary drain, but it's not enough to probably matter. Most of the drainage is either going to go to the detention pond, the proposed detention pond, or north up to the Lantana system.
So you skipped Phase 2.
Phases 1 and Phase 2 are both in the city.
Okay, they're both in the city?
Yes.
Okay. So that's a city,
City issue.
okay, issue, okay.
Is the city planning to do anything about it?
Troy is here.
I don't know, we're about to,
Troy is here.
we do have city
Manager
administrator here.
Town manager.
Mr. Kennedy is also wanting to say something.
Let's listen to these other,
Yeah, we've got,
we got three more
Yes.
three more here. Let's run through those if we could, and then we will
3, 4, and 5.
come back in and see about some other questions. So, okay, so next is Troy Meyer with the town of Copper Canyon. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Judge Eads and Commissioner. Just want to, make some comments as it relates to this development. When the water's going to go on the private property, as been mentioned, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. But I would also allude to that they would also need to, I would ask that the Commissioners Court require them to have a maintenance agreement for that drainage system to be part of the approval process. So, because a lot of the backyards that are in Copper Canyon Phase 1 back up to that, and we would just want to make sure it gets maintained. Also, as that water hits or moves towards Copper Canyon Road, it has to go south towards the fire station, as was mentioned. And there's a surface drain there that we would like to see the calculations on. Can it hold the capacity of water that's discharged from that detention pond? So we want to make sure that that's been clarified as this potentially moves forward as well. The other thing, as we were reviewing some of the plans, the construction entrance is shown to be on Cameron Road, which is a private road. The developer has told us, the city, over and over, that he was going to use that gravel road as his construction entrance, but the plans do not indicate that. So we'd ask that the county verify that. And if he chooses to do that, we'd also ask that the county require him to put in an apron, because as he approaches Copper Canyon Road, that road is already kind of getting torn up based on what he's hauled in so far as well. So that's a consideration. The other thing I'd mention is now that he's going to put over 40 homes in addition to the existing Copper Canyon Phase 1 and 2, that I'm not sure if he's done or if the county has required any type of traffic analysis or study, because there's no left-hand turn lane to get into the two entrances. And so that may be a challenge for us in the future as well. But just wanted to bring those couple of things to y'all's attention and appreciate y'all's support and help with it.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you, Troy. And I personally would like to see the court act as kind of a mediator, if you will, and put everybody together and see if something can be worked out that's mutually agreeable. I understand the problem. I don't understand the solution. I'm not an engineer. But I think that I hope that we can get there. So that's my comment on that. Thank you.
Perfect, good. All right, let's go to Jason Wheeler. He does not wish to speak, unless he's changed his mind. Okay. Oh, okay, all right. You had marked you did not want to, but we'll be happy to hear from you. Thank you for being here. Good morning, glad you're here.
Good morning, Jason.
Good morning, thank you. And if you do, Judge, take a look at Bobby's pictures that we have provided her, they're in color, and you'll actually see the difference in the grass.
Perfect.
So we can actually tell that it's a different timeline. And there is major issues already running behind us with the water flow that took out a bunch of dirt and a little bit of the mulch area that washed out the back. But the front is really, really bad.
Okay.
And we definitely like to have somebody fix our issues that are going on in our Copper Creek area.
Okay.
And is that phase 2, Jason?
I don't know if they consider it phase 1, phase 2. I don't know what the situation is, but it's 507 Cameron Trail.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Bobby, you have those pictures? Okay. It's okay. I think we can, I've got some too. Okay.
Okay, so
Roberta Henke? Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you all for
Have
having
you,
us here.
we're glad to have you here.
My name
Pull
is-
that mic down just a little bit, Roberta. We want to be able to ensure we hear from you, okay?
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Roberta Hinke. And my husband and I, Fred, live at 300 Pearson Pond in Copper Creek Estates.
Okay.
We moved in July 29th of 2022. I've seen many times that we've had a lot of water, a lot of flooding. Fortunately, it doesn't affect our home personally. We had to insist, and we went through the city of Copper Canyon. Troy's aware of it. Michael Canada's aware of it, to get the drainage ditch next to our home graded properly, because it was never graded properly. They did do it with some discord, didn't like to do it, and then we still graded it some more so we could put grass in to maintain it from that point. We had an HOA meeting. Mike assured all the homeowners that he was going to use the construction entrance as the gravel road. Now it's Cameron. Those are private roads. If they get torn up, who's going to pay for them? The HOA or Michael Canada? I don't understand. I have many pictures. I also have the grading that was done for phase 1, because I'm in phase 1, that I don't believe was all properly done from the very beginning. That's about all. I agree with everything that my neighbors have said. Thank you.
Good, thank you, Roberta. Okay, so let me turn off the timer.
Teresa, I don't have a form for this last speaker.
Here, I might have both of them.
You have a form? Okay, thank you. Got it now.
Okay, so
Thank you, Roberta.
The phase
Sounds
1
good.
drainage, Judge, is that was in the town of Hickory Creek? Copper Canyon.
yeah, phase 1 and 2 were approved by the
Approved
town
by
of
the
Copper
town.
Canyon.
So
Correct.
there's nothing.
It has nothing to do with us.
Yeah. the county
So I
didn't
will
do it.
say, as a former county commissioner that represents this area, drainage has always been a concern, you know, whether it be Lantana and where they're discharging to, the Copper Canyon and downstream, and so, you know, you have to have the mindset that somebody's always downstream. So, I think that obviously the drainage is of concern, especially, it's been vocalized today, but just as a public policy, it's something that should always be looked at and addressed, because this general vicinity it's been a low-lying area. It sounds like we need a drainage easement to be dedicated and recorded. We don't have that today, so it sounds like they're close to that. I don't know if we could take action today in good faith, without that pending action being executed. So, Stephen, if you'll answer this, so if we were to deny it, we would give them, if we were to deny it today. No, because the clock's still ticking. So we either deny it with conditions, we deny it explaining the reasons, or approve it with conditions.
Correct.
So we could just deny it and say, here's the reasons, and then you come back with a remedy.
Correct.
Okay.
Judge, I'd like to move that we approve it conditionally, with the conditions spelled out, and make every effort to get all the parties together. Again, whatever's in the city, we can't do anything with, but let's see what we can do on the part that would be in the county.
Okay, is there a second? Hearing none, the motion fails. Thank you, Commissioner. I share your spirit of it, that we
Yes,
should
I
try
know
to,
what you're
let's
trying
try
to
to
do, but that-
figure out what the deal is, you know, so. If they serve relatively the same function,
Yeah,
but one
they
is
do.
saying no till we get it all clarified, but they're very similar motions.
And I'd like to have some meetings with the developer and the homeowners, so we can work out something, and Stephen, we can work out something together about how we can further get this taken care of, because we can't continue to deny the developer to use the land, but at the same time, if it's affecting the homeowners, we've got to work out a solution. That's my goal.
Okay?
You okay with that, Judge?
Oh, I believe so. I think anytime you get the parties together and explain issues, I think that's important. Did the flooding related to the fire station, did that happen before the land was graded? I know I don't know if those were
I don't know.
sequential, or there was a causal effect to that because of the land grading. Yes, ma'am, yes.
So that video was taken on June 2nd, and that was.
Can you come up to the?
Yeah. Welcome back, Victoria. Welcome back.
I was told that and it matches the photos, that video was taken on June 2nd, the day of the torrential flood. That was after all the grading has happened, the destruction of trees and the vegetation. So we can mark it. One of the photos that I provided was in March, which was not a really severe rain, and yet we still had a ton of flooding. So,
Okay.
yes.
All right, thank you. Well, I think when you're, yeah, okay.
Mr. Kennedy is asking to speak.
All right, did anyone want to say anything else? Go ahead. Yes, sir. We can hear from the applicant again.
So, phase one, phase two, you guys don't care about. It's in Copper Canyon. There's a minimum finished floor.
Well, it's still a county, it's not, we don't have direct responsibility for it, but we do care about them, so they're our residents.
Well, so it was engineered by McAdams, and we did our hydrology up and down, and it accounted for this land. And we do have a protected waterway in there. We have a pond that was declared a waterway. So I think on the north side, that's what they refer to, and there's minimum finished floor over there on all the houses adjacent to that pond because it does rise. It's a stream. It constantly flows. They came out and determined it. That's why we couldn't do anything else with it, disturb the banks of it or anything. You know, some of these people, they're referred to losing their yards. They've got 6 foot of steps to get up to their front door because that's their minimum finished floor because all the rest of that does flood. So it's not anything that I'm doing. It's a condition that the person that actually built the house, which is none of them, knew. He was an engineer. He builds bridges across lakes and stuff, so he knew. On the south side, very little of the water from phase 3 comes through there, but it's not going to get any better until we get to do our grading and change what's just been out there. I mean, it's unimproved land. You know, we've seen some horrific rains, and, you know, when these folks see their ditch fill up 18-inch, we're talking about an 18-inch culvert pipe out there, you know, and the ditch is filling up halfway full of water, it's doing its job. You know, and there is no, McAdams does a really good job. I've used them for a lot of years. I only use them because of their reputation and how good of a job they do. And to be honest with you, I've lived on that road right there for 20 years. So I've seen the water. I know what we have and we haven't done. I mean, I'm a resident of Copper Canyon. I mean, I know better. You know, I know a lot longer than these folks do as far as what the drainage patterns have been out there. And every time it goes and rains, I go check. And we've seen the 500-year storm event, and we've seen the 100-year storm event, and our neighborhood functions perfect. And as far as what was engineered and designed and approved through Copper Canyon's engineers at that point, we have as-builts showing that we built it that way, and that it is built that way. So just phase 3, I think, will clean stuff up if we get to do it. Like I said, there's going to be a detention pond. The water's going to be released out. You know, it's going to be better. It's going to be less flow. It's going to be less velocity. Right now, it just runs across 46 acres and does what it wants to do. So,
okay.
Mr. Kennedy, I made notes during Troy's presentation, and there were 4 major points that he was wanting to see. So hopefully, we can get everybody together and let's address those 4 points and whatever else Stephen might feel like is necessary.
Well, and the roads, I'd like to address that too, because, you know, I developed the front part. I, on my own accord, without anybody, negotiated 4 years of being able to access that gas well road to take the heavy construction down, not guys in pickup trucks.
Yeah.
But, you know, like when I'm pouring the streets back there, I'm going to run every concrete truck down that gravel road just, you know, to preserve these. And that's something that I'm doing, you know, out of the goodness of my heart. It's not anybody making me do it, nor do I have to do it. But I did negotiate that in my contract when I purchased that land. And I'll try and run, you know, drilling rigs, pump rigs, anything that I can down the road. But when you go down that road, they call and complain to you all about dust because it is a gravel road. You've been out several times because of dust off of that road. So no matter which way I go, they got a problem with it. So I'm trying, you know, the water's probably not going to get better until we can get out there and improve the drainage, you know. It's kind of an impossible position, you know, to be in.
Okay. And the other reason I would recommend that we not proceed with this today is because of the road issue. So the road issue is still a pending item as far as our
I still own the
exemption
streets
and
of
so
the
forth.
neighborhood.
So, say again?
I still own the streets of the neighborhood.
Okay. But these new proposed streets, as far as it being a
Yes,
private
sir.
road, it's an unaddressed issue with this, and so we need to handle that in a future agenda item. So I don't think we're totally, so we got multiple pending items that still need to be addressed, and so in light of the fact that we have these pending items, the chair would move for a denial.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Williams. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I believe we can
Motion
work
carries
this out.
3 in favor, 1 opposed.
I
Yes.
believe we can work this out, Judge. We just have to get with the neighbors and the developer and work this out, and Stephen and work this out. And engineers and work this out.
Engineers.
We can do this.
Okay, good, let's do it.
Perfect. Okay, thank y'all for being here. Okay,
Judge, before we go
We'll
further.
take a pause.
Let me
Let
thank
the-
everybody for being here.
absolutely, thank y'all.
This
Thank you,
is the
folks.
first public hearing that I've sat in where the public really came and where there was people on both sides and engineers, et cetera. And it's very clarifying to do that. So thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. Usually everything's just pre-decided. Usually everything's just pre-decided.
Just looking at our guests here. All right. Let's go back to we'll go back to the beginning. Let's go to item 2, which is our consent agenda. Members, are there any items you'd like to pull off the consent agenda, or do we have a motion for approval as presented? We have a motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Our consent agenda today consists of item 2A, which is approval of the order making appointments in any appropriate action. Item 2B is approval of interdepartmental transfers. Item 2C is approval of the payroll. Item 2D is approval of budget amendment request 102130 for public health clinical to transfer $25,300 from primary health care to various line items and allocate funding for the remainder of the fiscal year in any appropriate action. Item 2E is approval of budget amendment request 102180 for the criminal district attorney treasury purchases to transfer $3,524 from technology equipment to legal services. The funds will be used for the remaining invoices from Thomson Reuters and LexisNexis subscription in any appropriate action. Item 2F is approval of budget amendment request 102190 for the county treasurer to transfer $3,400 from technology equipment to training and education for new staff to complete mandatory investment training and continuing education. Item 2G is approval of budget amendment request 102200 for Commissioners Court to transfer $1,000 from vehicle care, $1,500 from fuel, and $850 from hospitality supplies to legal aids to cover the cost of required public notices and to provide funding for the remainder of the fiscal year. Item 2H is approval of budget amendment request 102210 for AgriLife Extension to transfer $2,986 from mileage reimbursement, $1,326 from training and education, and $1,271 from official travel employee for the total transfer of $5,583 to various line items to cover expense for the remainder of the fiscal year. 2I is approval of budget amendment request 102230 for emergency management to transfer $95,966 from various line items to cover expenses for the remainder of the fiscal year in any appropriate action. Let's go to item 3C, which is approval of a resolution in support of FM 1171 extension project. And I'll go ahead and read this resolution. This is resolution supporting the FM 1171 extension project from a 35W to west of FM 156 in the state of Texas here in Denton County. And whereas Denton County is home to more than 1 million citizens and still growing, and whereas 90 people a day move to Denton County, and whereas Denton County has a long-standing partnership with TxDOT and its cities and towns improving roads and mobility, and whereas Denton County recognizes the importance of FM 1171 extension project and has invested $5 million toward the project for engineering and design paid for by Denton County's 2022 road bond program. and whereas this project will construct a new 4 to 6 lane divided roadway, significantly improving mobility for residents in the town of Northlake and the city of Ponder, as well as surrounding areas. I would like to amend that to say, and Justin. I want to amend this language here, Teresa. Northlake, Justin, and the city of Ponder. We'll amend this. And whereas the FM 1171 expansion will become the main east-west arterial for the driving public west of I-35W. Now therefore be it resolved, the Denton County Commissioners Court fully supports and appreciates TxDOT's effort to extend FM 1171 from I-35W to west of FM 156. The motion by Commissioner Edmondson, the chair will second. Well, I will tell you, this is a significant day, and because TxDOT needs to have this resolution of support, we rebuild lots of highways across the state. We had the privilege of rebuilding lots of highways. This is a new alignment. This is building a new highway, a brand new highway. We don't always get the opportunity to build a new highway. We've rebuilt a lot of highways on the existing alignment, but this is a completely new road. And we've been working hard on the alignment of this and how to preserve the corridor, and all the gas wells were popping up overnight back when I was county commissioner. So I'm glad that we're moving forward on this. Commissioner Edmondson, do you want to say something?
Well, I just want to point out that it also helps to have a road that goes from that far west on over to 35. Between the trains and some of the other highways, it's hard. And if you've got an emergency, you've got to have a way to get back and forth. So I think this is a very necessary public safety
Perfect, good. Any other comments? We have a motion and a second, and we will revise the resolution to reflect the addition of the city of Justin. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 4A. This is a public hearing on August the 27th, 2024 for the approval of the replat of Golden Sky Estates. This is Lot 7R1 and 7R2. This is 4.22 acres located in Commissioner Precinct 1. We have a motion to open the public hearing.
Move the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Is there anyone in attendance wishing to speak in favor of or opposed to the replat of Golden Sky Estates? Anyone in attendance wishing to speak in favor of or opposed to the replat of Golden Sky Estates? Hearing none, do we have a motion to close the public hearing?
Move to close.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Move to approve.
We have a motion for approval of the replat from Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you, folks.
You bet. Next is item 5A, approval of bill report. Payments from CSUD, Community Corrections, TAIP, Sheriff's Training, Sheriff's Forfeiture, and VIT interest and DA forfeiture funds are presented for recording purposes only. Mr. May.
Thank you, Judge. I have one addition today. It's to Elite RV Pros Denton LLC for $2,673.99.
Perfect. All right. Do we have a motion to approve the amended bill report? Motion by Commissioner Mitchell. Chair will second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 6A. Approval to declare miscellaneous computer equipment, office supplies, furniture, appliances, tools, and surplus as surplus. Advertise and place an online auction 242828 to be held September of 2024. Second. Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 6B. Approval to dispose of abandoned inmate property in compliance with Texas Code of Criminal Procedure 18.17. Motion by Commissioner Edmondson, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 6C, approval of RFP 242802, classification compensation study and performance management to salary.com. And does anyone want to make any comments related to this?
Yes, if you don't mind, Judge.
Go right ahead, please, sir.
This has been a lot of work, and I really want to thank the individuals that were involved, including Laura Metcalf, Gustavo, Scott, Tony, which unfortunately doesn't work here for us anymore, but this was a big project that he helped on as well. Miss Crystal, Capricia, and myself, and I really look forward to getting this going, and I see some really positive things that have come from it, and I appreciate all the input from my coworkers as well, and so I look forward to a positive outcome. So thank you, and I move to approve.
I'll second it, and I'll make some comments. Commissioner, I appreciate you mentioning this and talking about this. I will support the effort, because it's of a narrow scope. From what I understand, it's a narrow scope. What I've read and understand from the commissioner, I believe it is a narrow scope. Fundamentally, this is no news to the HR work family. I do believe that inherently this is an internal HR function that should be done internally with our staff who understand our nuances and our comparable counties and cities. And so I believe there's a local knowledge that is obtained here in the county and that should be fully utilized. I know that they'll be part of the process, obviously. I do have reservations on the time frame of doing this as we're going through this. If it's a big burden, I don't want it to be a big burden on our departments because of what we're going through with the ERP. There's got a lot of systematic changes going on this year. So, am I right, Scott? He got a big smile on his face when he said that's an understatement. That's what he was saying. And so, a lot of these parties have a lot on their plate on the implementation of the ERP, which is very time sensitive. And so, I will support this being a narrow scope with a keen eye that we should use this as a model and that the HR, this is a common routine practice of HR to look at all of our positions. That's my thoughts.
Okay.
But
Appreciate your support.
I appreciate your efforts, yes.
Yes, sir.
So there's a motion, a second. Any other comments?
Yes, Judge.
Commissioner.
First of all, I'd like to point out that when we get this report, it's going to be like the 10 suggestions, not the 10 commandments. So I think we should be able to look at it that way. And I'd like to ask that the word market really be defined when we're looking at comparable positions. IT, for example, loses people not just to other government entities, but to the private sector. So we have to look and see where our people are going to find out if we really are at market. So thank you for all the work, Commissioner.
Yes,
Appreciate it.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
And I do think the market is, the definition of market is fluid. It depends on the position, the position here. So I think that is very, and which leads me to my point about our local information and our HR, because as they do those exit interviews, where are these people leaving and going to, so that informs, hey, we need to be competitive with other counties, or this position needs to be more competitive with other cities, or is this a private sector competitive marketplace, or is it all of the above? And so I think that that's something that we can work on in the future.
Yes, sir.
All right, any other comments? All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next, let's go to 7A, approval of budget request 102220 for the county jail to transfer $627,618 from non-departmental unappropriated contingency with $470,618 to overtime cash option outside of the budget amendment in human resources policy as recommended by the budget office, and $157,000 to out-of-county prisoner expense. Funds are needed due to a shortage of detention officers and to cover the costs of inmates housed at the Cook and Johnson County jails, and any appropriate action.
I move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion?
Yeah, just real quick,
Yes,
Judge,
sir.
I just want to let you know that the sheriff and I have started some conversations, and we'll continue that, working together to see how we can make some adjustments to this.
Perfect, good.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 7B, approval of budget amendment request 102240 for the Sheriff's Office to increase revenues and allocate expenditures for the Internet Crimes Against Children's Grant in the amount of $7,500 for fiscal year 2024. Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, who seconded? I didn't. Commissioner Edmondson, thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 8A, a report from Human Resources regarding hiring actions of elected officials. This is presented for recording purposes only. Mr. Hernandez.
Judge, Commissioners, good morning. We have one new hire in the county clerk. Excuse me. One promotion in the DA's office, 4 new hires in juvenile probation, 3 new hires in the sheriff's office, all 3 detention officer ones. We have 1 rehire in the sheriff's office, 1 new hire in the tax office, and 1 promotion in the tax office. That's it for this week.
Perfect, good, thank you. Again, that is presented for recording purposes only. Next is 9A, approval of memorandum of understanding between Health Services of North Texas and Denton County WIC.
Approval.
Motion by Commissioner Mitchell. Second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 10B, approval of the Meadows Phase 1 final plat. This is 71.908 acres located in Commissioner Precinct 4.
I will move approval.
Motion by Commissioner Edmondson, second by Commissioner Williams. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 10C, approval of a request to hold a public hearing on Tuesday, September the 17th, 2024 at 9 a.m. to consider, approve, and/or take appropriate action for a zoning change in the Lake Ray Roberts Planning and Zoning District's ZA 2401. This property is R5938A, is located in abstract number 790, the C. Manchaca Survey, tract 26. This is 1.72 acres in Commissioner Precinct 1.
Move to approve.
I have a motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. All right. Next is item 10D, approval of the request to hold a public hearing on October the 1st, 2024 at 9 a.m. for the replat of Rocky Top Phase 1, Lot 4R, Block I. This is 1.966 acres located in Commissioner Precinct 4.
I'll move approval.
Motion by Commissioner Edmondson, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 10E, approval of the request to hold a public hearing on October 1st, 2024 at 9 a.m. for the replat of Grimes Edition, lots 1R and 2R, Block A. This is 5.23 acres located in Commissioner Precinct 4.
Move approval. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Edmondson, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 12A, approval of the 2024-2025 interlocal cooperation agreements between Denton County and 1, the Argyle Independent School District Police Department, 2, the Argyle Police Department, 3, the North Lake Police Departments for the use of the Denton County radio communications systems. Motion by Commissioner Edmondson.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Williams. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 12B, approval of the 2024-2025 state and local task force agreements between the Denton County Sheriff's Office and the U.S. Department of Justice Drug Enforcement Administration.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 13B, approval of the proposed 2025 Sheriff's and Constable fee schedules recommended by Constable Michael Truitt and approved by the Sheriff and Constable Fee Committee.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 14A, approval addendum 1 to agreement of point of sale motor vehicle registration renewal between Denton County, Texas and Durka Services Incorporated, as recommended by the Denton County Tax Assessor Collector.
Move approval.
Motion by Commissioner Mitchell. Second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 14B, approval of the interlocal cooperation agreement between Denton County, Texas and Denton County Emergency Services District Number 2 for ad valorem tax collection as recommended by the Denton County Tax Assessor Collector.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 14C, approval of addendum number 1 to the master agreement for professional services, RFPQ 232778, building commissioning for building commissioning services for the Denton County HVAC equipment replacement project between Denton County, Texas and Farnsworth Group Incorporated in a not to exceed amount of $68,800 with funding to come from the Professional Services Permanent Improvement Fund, auditor line item 8053009010 is recommended by the Denton County Purchasing Director.
Move approval.
Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 14D, approval of the 2024-2025 motor vehicle license agreements to dealer between Denton County, Texas and the following automobile dealerships as recommended by the Denton County Tax Assessor Collector at 1, the Huffines Dodge Louisville Incorporated, DBA Huffines Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Louisville, 2, Huffines K Corinth Incorporated, DBA Huff Fines Kia Corinth, and 3 Huff Fines Subaru Corinth Incorporated.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 14E, approval of a change order number 3 to the contract between Denton County, Texas and Collaborative Solutions LLC for enterprise resource planning, the ERP software and implementation services, in the additional amount of $40,320 of funding to come from the ERP implementation project, American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA funds, order line item 5466611086. Motion by Commissioner Edmondson.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Williams. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next, let's go to item 17, which is community updates. Commissioner Williams.
I'm sorry, Judge, if I may, I think we skipped over
Oh, we need to
13A.
do, I waited till the very end to do that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
for the retirement,
It's
the burn.
13A.
Burn ban.
Oh, there'll be no action today.
Okay, no action.
Sorry. Thank you, Bianca.
Okay,
I didn't disclose. I had pool on there, but I did not
no worries.
vocalize that. Before we do that, let's go back and do our resolution of honoring Eric Brumley for 25 years. We'll go back to item 3A, and then we'll come back into committee reports if that's okay. This is another one of these I really hated to see come across my desk. Exact language is item 3A, approval of a resolution recognizing Eric Brumley's retirement and any appropriate action. Well, I'll just say, let's read this real quick. So this is a resolution honoring Eric Brumley for 25 years of dedicated service to Denton County. The Denton County Commissioners Court, Denton County, Texas, during a regular session on the 27th day of August, 2024, considered the following resolution. Whereas Eric Brumley has been a loyal employee with Denton County Road and Bridge West, now known as Denton County Department of Transportation and Engineering, and will retire on August the 30th, 2024, after over 25 years of service. And whereas Eric Brumley was hired as a driver equipment operator in 1998, promoted to heavy equipment operator in 2004, then again promoted a quality control technician in 2008. I remember that well. And in finishing his career with Denton County after one last promotion to road foreman in 2015. And whereas Eric is a dedicated employee who provided a high level of quality and valuable service to the Department of Transportation and Engineering, as well as the residents of Denton County, and has earned the respect of all who worked with him. Eric's attention to detail, equipment knowledge, road knowledge, and overall departmental knowledge were second to none. He was always been the department's go-to person when there has been questions, having spent almost 26 years in the same department. He knew his job well. Eric has always been willing to help where needed, from tree trimming and pothole patching to moving equipment and truck driving, helping his crews on the road keep the roads rolling, shoveling asphalt, etc. We could always count on Eric. And whereas Eric's devotion to assist his co-workers has been greatly appreciated and respected by his fellow colleagues, and he'll be deeply missed. And whereas the Department of Transportation and Engineering would like to thank Eric for his commitment and hard work throughout his career, and we wish him well in his retirement. We hope Eric will not forget his work family here at the Department of Transportation and Engineering, and we look forward to hearing of his many retirement adventures ahead, enjoying day trips and road trips with his wife Karen, cruising to Alaska, Cozumel, and wherever the ship may lead, playing unlimited rounds of golf with his newfound unlimited time off. You can guarantee he will be loving the retired life. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Denton County Commissioners Court does hereby extend our sincere and grateful appreciation to Eric Brumley for his dedicated service to Denton County. We congratulate Eric on his well-earned retirement and extend our best wishes to him for continued success, happiness, and good health in years to come. The chair will move for approval. Second by Commissioner Edmondson. Tina, as you make your way over here, if you would like to say something, I would like to say something. I really appreciate Eric's years of service to the county. I was the county commissioner out there with Road and Bridge West, along with Commissioner Mitchell, and we shared that department for 12 years. And Eric was always a thoughtful, honest person. He had a great demeanor and was a team player. And I always knew that if Eric was out visiting with one of the residents, that he would represent the county well.
Yes, he did.
And make the resident happy when he left their presence. And so excuse me, you can tell a lot about someone, about their willingness to serve others in the department. And all the years we had our Thanksgiving or Christmas functions or just different get-togethers, Eric was always there setting up and serving others, and always quick to clean up. And so he just had, even as he was promoted, and it was a pleasure to be able to be a part of several of his promotion opportunities and that decision-making process. I'll just tell you, Eric, it was great working with you. You made me a better commissioner. You made the Road and Bridge West a better department, and Transportation Engineering a better department, and you left things better than you found it. So I really thank you for your spirit and your professionalism, Commissioner.
I'm just gonna echo what you say, Judge, because there's no need repeating that, but he was a great worker, as is all of our workers, and so I'm so glad to get the
But
chance
not
to
everybody
work.
cleans up the kitchen after.
Yeah, that's right, to get to work with Eric, and I'm gonna add one more duty to him. On his day off, he also he's a hat box deliverer. He and his wife Kara brought me some hat boxes to my office week before last, I believe it was, and so I just want to thank him, and always such a great attitude, always smiling, glad to do the job. Yeah, he grumbles a little like the rest of us do, but he's always glad to do the job. Continuing the Brumley service to the county. That's what he did, from daddy to brother to everyone, and now sister-in-law, all he did for the county and all that family's done for the county. They worked hard for the county and the citizens of Denton County, and always with a smile, and I appreciate that.
That's
and I
right.
always knew I could count on him. If I needed something, I could just pick up the phone and say, Eric, I need you to do something, and he'd get it done for me. Thank you, Eric and Kara.
Thank
Well-
you, and that's great about the extended family as well, yeah, Commissioner.
Actually, Commissioner, that's what I was going to mention, so thank you. I second everything that you've said. The Brumleys are a well-known family in Denton County, and for good reason. They have served the county well in several generations. Thank you specifically now to Eric. He's one of the first Road and Bridge people that I met when I became commissioner, and like Commissioner Mitchell said, always willing to do whatever was needed. Thank you, Eric, and enjoy your retirement.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Brumley. I really appreciate it. Enjoyed the nearly 4 years that I worked with you, and well-deserved retirement. So thank you so much.
Good. All right, Tina, you get the last word.
Thank you, judges, commissioners. Yes, Eric will be greatly missed. Eric was one of the people that you could depend on for anything. You just called him and asked him, and he got it done. I've been out there, and he would be on a piece of equipment when needed be. He was always trying to get the job done, and he was very committed to that, very committed to the county. And I hope he enjoys his well-deserved retirement. I think he's got some plans, and it sounds like they're exciting. So we will miss him, but I think he will. He told us he will come back to visit. So
Good, he'll come back to the picnic, hopefully.
yes.
He always went to that as well, didn't he? All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Eric. Let's give him a big hand. I hated he wasn't here today.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
All right, let's go back. Okay, let's go back to item 17, Commissioner Williams.
Okay, thank you, Judge. A couple things. First off, I absolutely apologize. I did not thank all the companies that put a bid in for our compensation study. I really appreciated it. There was a lot that put their name in. We narrowed it down to 5. We had them all come here. So I want to tell them thank you for their efforts. Everybody was a professional organization, and so thank you so much for that. I failed to mention that earlier. Second off, obviously it's high school football time, and so good luck to all the local football teams. We have a lot of high-rated football teams in not just Precinct 1, but in Denton County in general. So I want to say good luck to the season, and God please bless and put your hands on all these athletes and the refs, that nobody gets injured too badly. It's just part of football. But so best of luck then. Everybody be ready for Friday night football. And then last but not least, I want to say happy birthday to my father. He'll be 81 years old. He's smarter than me. He's in Colorado enjoying the nicer weather, but I do want to say happy birthday to him. So thank you, Judge.
Happy birthday, Mr. Williams. If he's in Colorado, he's probably not tuning in. and
He
watching
wouldn't
our
know
thing.
how to tune in.
That's right.
I'm just,
Good for him.
whether I showed him how to do it once, twice, if he
I don't
doesn't do it
recommend it.
every 30 minutes, he forgets.
Enjoy
Sorry, Dad.
Colorado. Congratulations. Happy birthday.
thank you.
Commissioner Mitchell.
Well, it's coming up time, our 9/11 Walk of Remembrance for the North and the South, or the elected officials or whoever wants to meet on the bridge in Louisville and walk to the bridge, 9/11, at 6:30 p.m. on September the 8th. Flower Mound, where the bridges meet, north and south. Flower Mound, we have a Lakeside Music Series, August the 30th, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Lakeside. Holland Village, we have American Red Cross Blood Drive, August 30th, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Woodhouse Spa. Lake Dallas, Lake City's Trade Days and Farmers Market, August 31st, 8 a.m. to noon. Louisville, August 30th, Acoustic Jam at Thrive. And we have a doggy dive-in on September the 7th at Sun Valley Aquatic Center. Bring your dogs out to enjoy a swim. $5, just the dogs, not you. Thrive, and then we have a Thrive Health Expo on September the 7th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And I have a new great-granddaughter named Sawyer Joe.
Very nice.
Just a tidbit of news.
That's Commissioner
This isn't a
Edmondson.
dog dive-in, but Denton is having the 30th Annual Dog Days of Denton on September the 7th, 9 to 2 at Quakertown Park. It's a free event with music, pup contests with their owners, vendors, food trucks, and more. And I'd also like to mention that Trophy Club is going to have Taste of Trophy Club on September 7th at Independence Park East. And they're going to have a festival showcasing the diversity of great dining options at the Trophy Club. Last, I'd like to mention that Argyle is having a Carter Blood Care blood drive on September 7th from 11 to 4. And while we're talking about Argyle, let me just mention that there was a horrible wreck less than a week ago at Crawford Road and I-35. It involved multiple cars. I believe it was 6 cars, a terrible accident. At least 3 people were killed, several others put into the hospital. And among those killed is one of my constituents who lived in Pecan Square. And her mother is who was killed along with her 2 aunts in this horrible accident. So I'd just like to express the sympathies on behalf of the county to that family. And I also was told that Roanoke Barber is still in the hospital as one of the people hurt in that accident. So our hearts and our prayers go out to them. Thank you very much, Judge, for letting me make these announcements.
Thank you. I would like to mention a couple things that the county will be closed on September 2nd in honor of Labor Day, and we'll have no Commissioners Court the following day. So we will resume business as Commissioners Court publicly. Our meetings will resume on Tuesday, September the 10th. Okay, this is super fun. This is Wednesday this week, Wednesday evening, August the 28th, in Louisville at Motor City. The mayoral cook-off is tomorrow night, and that's where several of our mayors in Southern Denton County are going to compete to raise money for the local nonprofits. And we have Mayor Bill Heidemann from Corinth, and Mayor Gerard Hudspeth from Denton, and Cheryl Moore from Flower Mound, and Lynn Clark from Hickory Creek, Mayor Charlotte Wilcox from Highland Village, Andy Nolan from Lake Dallas, TJ Gilmore from Louisville, and Cindy Augenbaugh from Shady Shore. So it's super fun. It's in Louisville, Motor City, mayoral cook-off. You can look it up. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's fun and great pizza as they come up with their concoctions. Let's quickly go to executive session. We have one item today, which is 15A, Texas Government Code 551072, deliberation regarding real property. Closed meeting, deliberate the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. If deliberation in open meeting would have a detrimental effect on the position of a governmental body in negotiation with a third person. And it is 10:46, and we're in executive session.